से, जो कि पंजाब से यहाँ आए हैं शिमला में और आज वो अपने ब्रश के द्वारा शिमला की खूबसूरती को एक पेंटिंग के रूप में एक वाटर कलर के द्वारा उतार रहे हैं पूरे शीट पे। देखिए। नमस्कार सर।
नमस्कार मैम।
स्वागत है आपका सर।
थैंक यू मैम।
सर प्लीज़ अपनी पेंटिंग के बारे में कुछ बताइए।
मैम एक्चुअली मैं जनरली ऑन स्पॉट पर वर्क करता हूँ, जहाँ पर अच्छे अच्छे वर्क्स होते हैं, अच्छी अच्छी आर्किटेक्चर्स बिल्डिंग्स होती है, उनकी कुछ हिस्टोरिक इंपॉर्टेंस होती है, कुछ आर्टिस्टिक वैल्यू होती है। तो दी स्पॉट्स जो हैं हमें वो अलेयर करते हैं टू पेंट, सो वी कांट रजिस्ट अवर सेल्फ फॉर टू पेंट दीज आर्किटेक्चर्स बिल्डिंग्स एंड ऑल। सो सेकेंडली ये है कि ऑन स्पॉट पे मैं कि एक एनर्जी मैम रहती है, समटाइम you have very limited period of time, light and shade, and that creates some beauty, and artists really want to go out and paint. But these days, what is happening is we click a photograph, we go to the studio, and that doesn't inspire you to paint or to work on your paper or onto the canvas. So the best way is to go onto the spot, work there, study there, and find out what is beauty in there.
सर अभी हम देख रहे हैं आप शिमला का इवनिंग कॉलेज वाला चर्च बना रहे
जी
हैं।
जी
तो सर यहाँ पे अगर हम माने तो शिमला में सबसे मशहूर चर्च रिज का चर्च माना जाता है।
बिल्कुल
तो
मैम।
आपने इस चर्च को क्यों चुना?
मैम मुझे लगता है कि आपकी मेन फोकस जो है वो मेन चर्च जो रहती है, लेकिन व्हेन यू गो बैक टू द होम, आई थिंक जो आपकी अपोजिट साइड में वो जो चर्च है उसकी इम्पोर्टेंस शायद आप नहीं देख रहे हैं, उसकी जो ब्यूटी है उसको नहीं आप मतलब कि पहचान पा रहे। तो माई डूइंग दिस द आइडिया इज़ टू गिव सम एम्फोसिस ऑन दीज बिल्डिंग्स टू, सो और टू ब्यूटीफाई कि वो जो लोग हैं उसको जान सके कि हाँ ये भी एक चर्च सामने है जिसकी उतनी ही ब्यूटी है जितनी जो मेन चर्च
तो सर अभी आपको ये पेंटिंग बनाते हुए कितनी देर हुई है?
है। मैम एक्चुअली
हाँ जी, कितनी देर हो गई है इस पेंटिंग के साथ आपको?
हमने इसको स्टार्ट किया था अपने आफ्टरनून में, लेकिन बारिश होने के बाद थोड़ा इसको रुकना पड़ा, बट आई स्टिल कंटिन्यूड माई वर्क। तो आप देख सकते हो थोड़ी अनफिनिश्ड है, लेकिन हम स्टिल डूइंग।
सर नॉर्मली एक पेंटिंग के लिए आप कितना टाइम लेते हैं?
मैम फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इट डिपेंड्स ऑन योर सब्जेक्ट, आपका सब्जेक्ट कैसा है, और डिपेंड करता है मूड पे कि आपके मूड पे डिपेंड करता है कितना टाइम देना चाहते हो, कितनी उसमें डिटेलिंग है, कितनी उसमें ब्यूटी है। जनरली इट टेक्स 40 to 45 minutes in general, yes, average.
If we talk about the medium, what are other mediums that you prefer when it comes to paint?
Ma'am, there are a lot of mediums. These days, students are very much inclined to acrylics and oils. But these classical paintings, these mediums, sort of like watercolors, they're so uh, flowy, fragile. You can go onto the spot and paint it. But oil takes a lot of time. You takes a lot of breaks and all these things. But in watercolor painting, once you can start from the sky, you can after just giving your final strokes, you can come down to the bottom, right? So when I think it's watercolor is the best to work on the spots.
Apart from that, sir, if we talk about art for art's sake, what is your take on that?
Art for art's sake,
Yes.
uh, ma'am, I think for me, you're born with it. You draw something with the time, and you have a different eye for the same scene. You see it differently. So what I think is an artist are naturally born. You can't learn it in colleges or these inspirations. Those are natural. That remains end of your life.
So currently you are even working as a professional, right? But this is your hobby. So how would you suggest taking other people's art as a profession and not a hobby?
What is perfection? It's a very, very good question. It's a very good question. See, if you will see many other artists, there are many international artists, many Indian artists, they really develop their skills. They really work so hard. They are recognized now. If you want to become an artist, you have to work hard. You have to develop your skills, right? Otherwise, if it's a hobby, you know, so learn it from a good teacher, a good professional, so he can give you some basics rules, so you can play with it, right? Yeah.
But sir, when it comes to professionally, we have seen people are not pretty much interested in buying art. It's a different kind of people, or different sect altogether
Yes, yes,
that
yes.
buys. So,
Yes.
how do you think survival is easy for such artists?
Ma'am, it's a very good question. You asked a very good question. Uh, Ma'am, uh, the mistakes artists doing these days, they are not awareing the people that it's a good profession. Even your parents, your relatives don't think it's a profession, but they want to invest it in the other things. But painting can turn to be a very good investment if you really want to do this awareness. They have no awareness these sort of things. Tax deductions are there, right? You can, if you buy a painting, they you have saved your taxes. You have some good asset, right? And this is an asset who is I can say old is gold. You know, if you are investing in an artist, he will get famous. Your work automatically rise. Its price automatically rise. Like in if you see Indian economy is rising now. You have seen we have seen that China's as the Chinese economy risen, the painting's value automatically increased. So India is a very young emerging market. So I think you should be the first player in it to get a rise.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, what message you will give to the youngsters so that they can get encouraged towards this art?
Ma'am, I think I would like to suggest them to find different ways. Some those old ways, go onto the spot, work there, work hard, and give the messages to the other people who are saying, observing, and subconsciously absorbing you and saying you to work, right? And that somewhere you are inspiring them to, work. Yes.
Thank you, sir.